And
we're streaming.
where, hold on. We are live.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Monday night. It's Monday night that we get together and we talk about some of the most important topics of health and wellness that we're being bombarded with today. And today's call is all about detox. And I know that it's a word that keeps floating around. It's the beginning of the year and people are talking about detox and getting healthy. So I thought tonight I would start with a brief explanation of what is a detox. And I got this right off of Google and it is so simple. Detox is a process or a period of time in which one abstains from or rids the body of toxic or unhealthy substances. And my friends, most of us need a detox. And that's why I love the Juice Plus Shred program, because it is the most all-encompassing program that I've ever seen that talks about and addresses the issues of detoxification. And so why am I bold enough to say that we all need to experience a detox? Well, there are two startling trends that are happening right now in your world. The first one is that every single one of us are exposed to toxins like never before. Environmental toxins, our water has toxic substances, our air, our soil, groundwater, fertilizer being leached into our water, the rain coming down has toxins. So we are exposed to so many environmental toxins today that we were not exposed to even going back to the 50s or the 60s. And the other thing that we're exposed to is that our food quality is decreasing. If you shop in aisles 3, 4, 5, and 6 of the grocery store, anything that you pull off those shelves, my friends, has preservatives and flavor enhancers and emulsifiers and GMO new food. As Judy Strickland taught me years ago, we no longer eat food, we eat food byproducts, okay, filled with artificial color and trans fats and growth hormones. Whew. Then not to mention what we put on our bodies and in our hair, the shampoos and the makeup and the soap and the things that we clean our homes with. All of these things are laced with those toxic substances. And my friends, they're stored in our fat cells. And that's how good Mother Nature is. Mother Nature takes these toxic substances and stores them in our fat cells to protect your organs. But we are overloaded. We are overloaded, and our cells, tissues, all of our systems can no longer comply. And so I came up with a list of things that might trigger some reaction from you, because this is a list of things that I came up with that are signs of toxic overload. Number one, do you crave sugar? Because what that is, my friends, that's your cells telling you that you do not have sufficient nutrition going to your cells. Low or inconsistent energy. We were not designed to fall apart at noontime at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Bloating, gas, caffeine addiction, constipation, or just the opposite, what I was plagued with 30 years ago, nonstop diarrhea, irritability and anxiety. When you start to understand what these toxins do in your gut and how they disrupt the microbiome, and in your gut is where your serotonin and your dopamine is created, no wonder we are irritable or we have anxiety. Brain fog. It's another example of toxic overload. Difficulty concentrating. How about fluid retention, ladies? Headaches. And another sign that you're on toxic overload, my friends, if you're in a diseased state. Cancer, heart disease, diabetes, arthritis. you have a toxic overload. And so what do we need to do? We need to flood the body with good food, okay, to help remove these toxins that are stored in our cells, because that's what it's going to take. And so we have a program. It is called our Shred 10. And for many people, they look at our Shred 10 and they go, I could never do that. I cannot commit to all that. But tonight's program is going to help you realize that you can ease into this program. Tonight is about showing you how one simple change at a time, over time, can help you detox. All right, and everything that you do is part of your detox. So let me read the guidelines of our official program. Okay, so our Shred 10 is that you eat more plants every day. Because I don't care what detox program you look at, I don't care what hospital or what health guru or what organization is promoting it, it all goes back to plants. You've got to eat more plants. And so for us, we really encourage you eat more plants. Plus, you don't go a day without your Juice Plus capsules. Our complete protein drink, oh my gosh, that's what I call the end of cupboard rummaging. Because if you are going to embark on a program that's going to be detoxification long-term, you don't want to have your blood sugars doing this, and you don't want to be in the pantry 24/7 eating everything. When you're on that complete, stabilizes the blood sugar, and it's the end of cupboard rummaging. And then we encourage that you drink more water, that you breathe, that you sleep well, you exercise, and then we eliminate caffeine, alcohol, eating after 6, all processed food, gluten, dairy, and refined sugar. And some of you just said, slap me. She lost me at caffeine, alcohol, eating after 6. So guys, like, yeah, look at Julie's up there going, I can't do that. So what we are going to do is we're going to show you how you can step into this. We're going to meet you where you're at. How does that sound? Because this is just too important not to participate in, okay? We want you to be a part of our program. So I thought tonight we would share some Shred stories and some Shred experiences. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about how you can ease into this. And so I thought we would kick it off with Abby Nowlin. Would you kind of address how can our wonderful customers or prospects ease into our Shred?
Absolutely. Thanks, Terry. Hi, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Abby Nowlin. I'm excited to share with you a little bit about easing in. And I think the one thing I want to address before I talk about easing in with you is when I started my Juice Plus journey, I struggled with major gut issues like Terry was saying she struggled with, and the thought of shredding was very overwhelming. And so I'm going to encourage you, starting with something is better than starting with nothing. And I think a lot of people's mentality is if I can't do it all, then it's not worth doing. And that is not true in this case, because getting some plants in your body is better than getting no plants in your body. Taking out gluten is better than not choosing, any of the guidelines that maybe you'll pick and choose for a 10-day period until you're ready to go all in. And so the cool thing this month or next month that we are going to be incorporating is our Heart and Body Shred, which is going to be focusing on the complete and our incredible omegas, and then a detox drink that you would drink every morning. So you'd start your morning off with that detox drink, you'd commit to getting 1 shake a day in, and then you'd cap your night off with the omegas in the evening, which are supposed to be, well, not supposed to be, they're incredible for sleep. I take them before I go to bed. I know not everybody does that, but I take them in the evening and absolutely love it. And so that is how we are encouraging you to step in. And what I'll tell you over time on this 3-year health journey that I've been on is I now live the Shred lifestyle daily. And I never started that way. And I never, ever thought that I would say that. So take small steps, and eventually over time, you'll watch your health completely transform.
Thank you, Abby. And that's how I started. Guys, I was first introduced to Juice Plus 28 years ago, and all we had was the fruits and the vegetables. And I was already reading about detoxification 28 years ago. So I just started on the fruits and the vegetables. All of a sudden, I started craving more clean water because the fruits and the vegetables in Juice Plus start to clean off the cell wall. So now I'm craving more water. And because Juice Plus starts to change your cravings, I lost my craving for sugar. And guess what I started to crave? More plants. So I started my shred experience with the fruits and the vegetables. And then about 5 years later, the company introduced the Vineyard. Now, I already thought I had rockin' great health. We introduced the Vineyard and I really started to learn firsthand what detoxification was, because those berries just cleaned out all the brain fog and oh my gosh, my concentration improved. So there was another step. So everything that you do to advance this is part of the detoxification program. So thank you, Abby, because I'm excited about that bundle, Complete and Omegas, because those Omegas do help you get into a deeper sleep at night. All right, so I thought we'd want to hear a really wonderful, life-changing shred experience. And I'm going to go to mom, entrepreneur, retired school nurse, Judy Strickler. Judy, I know that Juice Plus has changed your health and the health of your family, but most particularly your son, Lance. Would you share that story with us?
I sure will, and I'll be glad to share that with you. And it's great to be here tonight. You know, first of all, I want to say that our body has a sophisticated detoxification system. You know that your liver, your kidneys, your digestive system, your skin, and your lungs. That's how your body cleans out. And it can do it just fine by itself. But when we enhance it with the things Terry just shared with you, like cutting back on alcohol, getting more sleep, drinking more water, getting rid of sugar, salt, whatever it might be, it just helps it to go faster. But my son, when we started this 24 years ago, my son was overweight. He was pushing 350. He was a great artist and a golfer, and he didn't exercise. He didn't go out and do much outside of the drawing in his room. And I was wondering how I was going to help him, because you don't listen to your mom when you're a sophomore in college. So he started working at Burger King, or he had been working there. And when I found out about Juice Plus, I just took the fruits and vegetables, like Terry said, that's all we had at first. And I just took them home and I told my 4 teenagers that they have to take this every day. It doesn't matter whatever you eat, whatever you're going to do, but you have to take these capsules every day. So they started taking them every day. And about a month or so in, my son was going to work one day and he went to the refrigerator and he got a bag of carrots, got a bag of lettuce, and he filled up a gallon jug of water. And I thought, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? You eat free at Burger King. Why are you getting that stuff? Now, I was a nurse and I knew about metabolic programming. If you eat sugar, you crave sugar. If you drink Starbucks, caffeine, whatever, you crave that. If it's cocaine, I don't care what it is, whatever you put in your body, you crave. I didn't know that when you put concentrated nutrition in your body, you'd start craving that. So I just asked him, are you okay? What's the matter? I said, are you on drugs? He said, only those you told me to take, Mom. And so I was blown away because he didn't know anything about detoxification. I didn't know much about detoxification. We didn't even talk about that at all. I just said, I know if you take more plants in your body, something good's going to happen. Within a year, he had lost 100 pounds. He started exercising. He started having more social activities with his friends. And today I can tell you he weighs 165 pounds. He's like a gourmet healthy food chef. He's just amazing to me. And several years ago, one Christmas, he took me aside and he said, Mom, I believe that Juice Plus saved my life. Oh. So we know people that need Juice Plus. And it's not about you, it's about them. Please, they don't, just tell them that's your job, is just share this. Your job isn't to force it down them. Your job is to tell them and just pray that they'll take it.
Thank you, Judy. I love that story. And I love seeing Lance, because I met Lance when he was that young man with that health challenge. And so you started your family with one simple change, just on the capsules, the fruits and the vegetables. And look what it led to over time. Another new habit, another new habit, another new habit. So you have definitely.
As a matter of fact, Terry, now my whole family, the married ones and all the grandkids, they believe that health has to do with Juice Plus. And they don't go with it.
And so do my children and my grandchildren. Absolutely. We're doing a good job, Judy Strickler. All right, thank you, thank you. A fabulous, encouraging message. And so now I thought that we would visit with another mom, another wife, and entrepreneur, Laura Kilpatrick. Laura, thank you for being with us tonight. Would you share what Juice Plus has meant to you and perhaps some nuggets from your shredding experiences?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Terry. It was so interesting as you were rattling off those things that I had them all. The sugar cravings, the low energy, the bloating, caffeine addiction. I was 3 to 4 Diet Cokes a day, anxiety, irritability, fluid retention, brain fog, and I was in a diseased state. Here I was at the age of 32, and I had already come through a battle with cancer, and I found myself struggling with an autoimmune condition. And not once did any of my doctors ever suggest that I look at my diet to help with that autoimmune condition I was dealing with. So I started taking Juice Plus. A friend shared it with me, started taking Juice Plus, and within a couple of weeks saw a profound difference in my autoimmune condition. So fast forward a couple of months, the shred is introduced to me. I'm 32 years old, working a very full-time, stressful corporate job, and the shred is introduced, and it makes total sense. Everything that I had started to learn and make the connection of, you know, what goes in your body, the toxicity, it all made total sense. And the 10 guidelines were simple enough that I could remember them. It didn't involve tracking, counting, points, any of that. It just was 10 simple guidelines that I viewed as guardrails. And if I could do most of these 10 guidelines, most of the 10 days, why not give it a try? And I will say, y'all, that first shred, I walked into the yoga studio, and my friend and the owner of the yoga studio, she looked at me and she said, "What have you been doing? Because this, you look totally different." I mean, it transformed my body composition. The interesting thing is that for me, the scale did not change. And that was really important to me, because I didn't go into this saying I have a ton of weight that I want to lose. I went into it saying I need to reset and reshift my thinking around lifestyle choices, being diet, exercise, hydration, sleep. And the shred provided that. I've been doing the shred every single month for the past 5 years. My mom, who's on this call, she does it with me. My husband, he does it with me. He even has his hunting buddies that are doing it. It's doable, simple, and so sustainable.
And look at you now. It's such a wonderful story. I mean, you radiate good health. And so, yeah, our shred, Laura, is not about a diet. You know, oh my gosh, 30 years ago, you guys, some of you will remember this name. I worked for Richard Simmons in the fitness industry. And Richard would stand in front of the room and scream. You know, he used to wear those leotards, and he would scream, "I don't ever want to hear any of you going on a diet. You never go on a diet, because what are the first 3 letters of the word diet? Die. I want you to go on a live it." And he was already talking about plants. You know, he was way ahead of his time, and he was just a charming, that was so much fun for me to get to work with him. But yeah, and what happens, Laura, is that over time, you start to just shred the fat, because the toxins are being removed from the body. And now the fat says, you know what, this is no longer an emergency situation. The organs are going to be fine, and I can now start to exit the body. So that is a beautiful story. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So also tonight, I thought that I would ask another mom, another entrepreneur, Paula Culbreth. Because Paula, you read a book not too long ago called Atomic Habits. And that's really what the shred is it not? one habit. Talk to me about why Atomic Habits applies to our shred program.
It really does. It really helped me a lot. Thanks, Terry. So habit stacking is really a special form of like implementation intention. So basically how he describes it is you take one simple habit or behavior that you do and stack something else on top of it to create your goals or get to the goals that you want to do or that you want to have. And it's the same thing. And I'll give you some examples of how I've used it with the shred. But I want you to picture this, because once I read this made a difference. So if I wanted to build a fire, and now's the time to build a fire, as we know in Texas, and like, I'm not going to start out with the big logs, because if I do, it's just going to smother away. So what happens is, picture this, you're going to start it, you're going to get some kind of kindling or something that's going to start the flame. And then once it starts, you're going to add a log or two, and then you're going to get bigger logs. And then by the time it's starting to flame, you can add these huge logs to get that warmth and that glow that you're looking for. You didn't start out with the big logs, you started out with kindling. So what happens is it's the same thing with habits. So if you start with something small, just like you guys have told in your stories, then you can build upon it because you'll have momentum. So to give you an example, one of the habit stacking that my husband and I started, not with the shred, but just in general life, is every time we leave or come in, we hug and kiss each other. So that's a habit. We know we have to come and go, so you just kiss each other. So we kiss and hug. And so it's like made our life even better. So to relate it to the detox or the shred 10 is drinking water. That was kind of an issue. So get this, this is my daily, how I have it stacked it. So in the morning now, first thing, I jump out of bed and I go warm up and make me some lemon water. So that's just bonus water for me, because I know I want to get to my Bible study. And before I do my Bible study, I have to make my lemon water. So I added that, wake up, lemon water, my Bible study. After I do my lemon water, I feel this every time. It's a 24 ounces of water. So I drink this. By 12 o'clock, I want to have my second or third fill. When I go pick up my son, when I leave the house, I know it's a habit stacking. I'm leaving the house, I fill this up, because in my car, I drink continually, and I have it drank 24 ounces by the time I get back home. It's a habit. When I take my Juice Plus capsules in the morning, I take a whole nother 24 ounces. At night, when I take my Omegas, like Laura says that she does, or Abby says she does, then I take a whole nother 24 ounces. It's just habit stacking. And I will tell you, just in the big global warming sense that I just gave you with the fire, when I started the shred for the first time in 2017, it kept going. But I took that one step for 10 days. I didn't know where it was going to lead me, but I knew I felt better. And within that time, I just kept going. I wasn't perfect, but I just kept adding things of the guidelines. I lost 43 pounds. By keeping going. So just adding something, using your momentum and keeping it going.
Thank you, Paula. Stacking habits. And that's what this is all about is, I didn't know 28 years ago when I started Juice Plus that eventually I would live a shred lifestyle. And for me today, every single component of the shred program is a habit. And just like Paula described, it was one thing that I kept stacking on the other. So all of the components of the shred program are just things that I do every single day. So I just want you to know that we want to meet you where you're at. Some of you are going to be ready to jump in and, like Laura, say, I can do these. This is doable. I can do all of these. Some of you are going, you know what? I think I just want to start on the capsules and maybe a complete shake. Okay, and I'm going to watch because you're going to be invited to be part of our Strong 20 Shred 10 Facebook group. And we have a really good time. So then you get that community camaraderie. It's an exciting program. And so basically people that do the shred program end up craving more fruits and vegetables. Over time, they attain a healthier weight. They have better recovery from workouts, improved sleep, increased energy, healthier skin and nails, improved regularity, and improved and increased mental clarity. And because this is a program that's backed by science, 42 pieces of research, reduction of inflammation to every cell, tissue, organ in your body, improved immunity, and who doesn't want a strong immune system right now in this season of all things disease? So that's our program. Please get with the person who invited you to the call tonight. This is streaming live on Transform 2021. Those of you that are out there, hello, hello. Thanks for being with us. And we appreciate and just love each and every one of you. Thanks for being with us. Peace and blessings. Take care. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, everybody.